Well, good morning, Rosalyn.
Good morning.
Nice to have you
Thanks
with
for
us
having
today.
me.
Of course, of course. Thanks for. I know you're a busy lady, and your schedules are all over the place. And I'm just grateful that you were able to stop into our studio today. So thanks again for dropping by.
Yes, it's my pleasure.
So by way of a formal introduction, Rosalyn Nosrat. Got it right. We practiced it. We practiced it over and over. And you are part of a boutique firm that deals with real estate that helps families find their American dream of home ownership.
Yes, I'm proud to actually be part of a boutique brokerage. They're the same brokerage I started with, and it allows us to really be close to our clients. We kind of work in like a concierge style.
Oh, yeah.
And the awesome thing is for the client, everything's under one roof. We have our best transaction coordinator.
Oh.
We have everything taken care of. So, I get to really work closely with every client.
Oh, that's amazing. So,
Wait,
there's more. Come
and
on.
it allows me to be very close with my broker. A lot of firms that you join, you can't get a hold of your broker.
That is true.
And I'm just not talking about something for, urgency. Just anything I need to reach out for, I have my broker there from day one.
That support is so important. So Vegas to the LA Orange County area, you're back and forth. Can you tell us a little bit about your markets and how'd you get into real estate?
Well, I've always been in sales all my adult life. So for me to get into real estate only seemed natural for me. But out of all the sales positions or in that capacity that I've been, this is my favorite. And the reason why is because I'm not focused on the sale. I'm not focused on the commission. Without making it sound bad, but I'm in a good financial situation that
Sure.
I don't have to worry about the money, where I can actually be
Focus
of service.
on the people.
Yeah, building the relationship, and just providing, but being in the best interest of the client. And first of all, every agent should be that way. But I truly, that doesn't mean that I will degrade how hard I work. 'Cause
Right.
I work
and your
hard.
value.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I truly focus on building the relationships and helping the client the best I can.
You know what? That is well said. And when we're interviewing, let's say, loan officers to work in our company, one of the first questions I ask them, Rosalyn, is, why do you want to do this business? And if they come right out of the gate saying, oh, because I hear you can make a lot of money, woo, that's a red flag to me. That's not maybe a deal breaker, but when they come out of the gate saying, you know what, John, I really want to help people. I love working with people. Ooh, now that's warm and fuzzy to me. Let's talk more. So I appreciate what you're saying is your focus is on the people and helping. So tell us a little bit about Las Vegas. How's that market?
It's booming. It's booming. Listings don't last, which is great. And personally, I wouldn't take a listing if the client wasn't realistic. But I'm very transparent. I won't take a listing if I don't feel that it's the right time to sell, just to take the listing. I want them to get the top dollar. I want them to get the best exposure. So when I get approached, I go through everything. I go through a market analysis. I go through, their neighborhood trends, and I list when it's ready and when I feel it's the best time. And, not every lead that comes through do you need to jump on it. Again, you have to think about the best interest of the client.
So how does that conversation work? They come to you and they say, you know what, I want to sell my home. And you do the comps and you're like, okay, I think it would probably go for here. But Rosalyn, I feel my home is worth way more. It's here. Do you ever get those kinds of people that try to value their home and they want you to list it for that? Or
So far, no, because I'm very transparent.
Yeah.
I talk to them like they're my friend, my family, like I truly care. And because of my transparency, they understand where I'm coming from and they get it. I'm never pushy. And the way that I make it easy to present, they understand. So far I haven't had
So
a
far,
difficult,
so good.
I know they're there, but I haven't had one yet.
Yeah, because that's a big factor. People are like, well, why is my house sitting on the market so long? Well, it's like
Or there has been a similar situation, but they weren't too difficult because had to do with renovations, minor renovations, but at least they were willing to do it. So if you're willing to put that in, and you don't want to just say my home is worth $1 million. You have to have it in good shape, whether it's paint, kitchen renovation, solar. So.
How important is staging and having the house staged for open houses or for viewings? Is that something that you also work with them on, the sellers?
Yes. And, we can work with small budgets. There's also virtual staging, which is great. So that's actually more cost effective.
I've seen those.
I offer.
Those are incredible. It's so Vegas is on fire. I know that. I know some folks out there too. My wife's cousins live out there in the not Henderson. It's it's
Southwest.
It is a beautiful little area out in
Mountain's Edge.
Nope. I will think of it as we go. But it's we went out there a couple times, and it's right up against the Red Rock.
Summerlin.
Summerlin. Thank you. And the home values seem to just be incredible out there. And a lot of people I know from Orange County, from other places, LA, are coming out there. And are you finding that the values of the homes are this equity growing pretty quickly out there?
Oh, absolutely. And Summerlin is on the higher end. Oh, that's actually where our office is located, in Summerlin.
Summerlin,
yes.
Okay. Yes. We'll have to make sure to stop by and come see you guys next time.
That would be great.
So you also come back and forth to the Orange County area too, along with your hubby. What?
Well, my husband's in commercial real estate. He does multifamily, and the headquarters are out here.
Okay.
So when I don't have a listing and I'm able to come out here, I come out here. But I'm not here as often as him.
Got it.
But at least I'm able to, my family is all out here in Los Angeles. So this is also a place where I come to be close and see my family, friends, and then I go back to Vegas.
Let me get back.
Or, if I'm out here and I have a lead reach out to me, I'm not going to just fly back. It's only 45-minute flight. Yeah.
Super close. Mm-hmm. My wife does hair and makeup. Mm-hmm. So she's back and forth. She has poker players that she works with out there and other clientele. So I guess we go back there a few times a month as well for her work. So tell me a little bit about the purpose of this podcast is really to speak about the mindset of a champion. Mm-hmm. And what sets you apart. And you gave us some insight already of some of the things that you do, your transparency, using your experience to help clients list the right property at the right time. But here's a question. We hear a lot of things about having the right mindset. What does having the mindset of a champion mean to you when you hear that, a champion type mindset? What comes to your mind?
That is a good question. I feel that it is having like a growth mindset. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
There's always room to improve. You're
100%.
Always needing to or should sharpen your pencil.
Yeah.
But basically facing challenges, because there'll be challenges, facing the challenges and taking that as a learning lesson to improve, and just adapting.
Ooh, that's a big one. Adapting, pivoting, and probably one of the best examples I can think of all of us having to do that was the pandemic. When COVID hit in 2020, there were a lot of businesses, they were doing well. 2018, 19, they were doing well. And here comes this pandemic, and we had to go to Zoom. We had to go to different ways of communicating. What adjustments or what challenges did you have to face and overcome in order for you to stay successful during that time?
Well, I actually joined when it got difficult. Yes.
So you started
when it got apparently when it
Who does
started to
that?
get difficult. But you know what? That's great because I feel like I went through a boot camp, but I don't feel it because I don't know what to compare it to. And so when, like going back to my brokerage, I have an amazing coach and I've been taught a certain way to do things. I was also lucky, this is a little bit off topic, but kind of related.
right.
So when I first started, I just spent 2 weeks interviewing a bunch of brokerages because I don't want to be the one to like constantly change and make those announcements. So I found the right one after like 6 or 7. And that first week, or maybe within the first 2 weeks, I got my first listing.
Wow.
So, I mean, everything was kind of an
You're like,
overdrive.
"This
I'm
is
like,
great."
wait a second, hold on. Luckily, I had my partner, my broker help me through the way and watching her do everything and also taking her advice. Everything happened quick. But from then, I said, you know what? I got to keep up with this consistency. Yeah. And I started going to other agents' open houses just to see how they were doing it. I was doing open houses the way that I was taught. And I thought, let me see how others do it so I can be even better. Kind of tweak
Absolutely.
the way I do things. And I went to about a handful the first few weeks after I closed my first sale. And I'm like, wait, they're not even doing half the stuff that I'm doing. Yeah. But I kept giving excuses. Oh, maybe they had a bad day. Maybe something happened. But I'm like, a lot of the open houses I went to, the agents were in the business for like a decade or more. And I'm like, no flyer, no sign-up sheet?
What?
Yes.
What are they doing?
So, yeah. I'm like, wait a second. I'm actually doing it right.
You're not capturing who's coming in and trying to follow? And
I mean, a few things here and there. But I mean, I've also reached out to agents who I'm friends with that I want to hold their open houses. It's not about just me having my own. I'll host another one because it's about exposure.
Absolutely.
And so I spoke to a friend. And I said, oh, you have this listing coming up. Let me help you at your open house. Help me. Oh, I don't do open houses. You don't do open houses. So I did the open house. I was like, okay, do you want to do the door knocking together?
Door knocking?
Door knocking? No.
Right?
I said, why don't you do door knocking? Oh, well, first of all, his excuse was, I'm a male. They'll find me as a threat. Well, I mean, I guess it is easier being a woman. Yeah. Maybe I don't look like I'm trying to sell vacuums. But I have fun doing door knocking.
Yeah.
And yeah, most of them don't open the door. But you know what I do? I actually talk to the Ring doorbell camera.
There you go.
And most of the time they're home. But I'm talking to it thinking like, hey, I'm here. This is why I'm here. This is the invitation. I'm leaving you right here so that when you see it later, because you know how some people go through their garage?
Yep.
They might not ever see that flyer. So that's one of the reasons I want to make sure they open up their door.
Oh, that's a good tip.
But a lot of times they end up opening it because they realize, oh, she's not a threat.
Right.
She's not trying to steal my package. Yeah. So far, I have not had any pushback with doing that. And yeah, so I'm surprised to find out a lot of agents don't do any of those things. No. But again, I don't know better because this is how I was taught from day one.
Yeah.
So
see, that's amazing. I have how I was taught when I first joined the team here about 12 years ago. Our broker Joe said, "Welcome to the team. Let me grab my stuff and we'll head out." I go, "Head out where? where are we going?" He says, "Oh, we're gonna go across the street. We're gonna door knock." I said, "Door knock? Well, why?" What? He says, "Watch." We door knocked about 100 houses. I didn't think we were gonna stop, and we didn't have any flyers, nothing. We just went out with our business cards and introduced ourselves. "Hi, I'm John. This is Joe. We're your local lenders. We're here to help. Do you know anybody that's looking to buy, sell, refinance?" And we pulled that string repetitively, said the same thing over and over. A lot of people said, no, we're okay right now, but if we know of anybody, well, they were very kind and pleasant, I found. We got our first deal just from knocking there.
Nice.
So now I'm a huge proponent of door knocking with our new people especially. But even if I've been in the business for a long time, I still like to go out. And I have brokerages that call me. The broker will call me and say, "Hey, I've got 50 agents or 100 agents, whatever it is, a bunch of new ones. I don't have time to take them out right now. Can you take them out door knocking?" I took this one lady out. Name was Danielle. just a sweet lady, nervous. I said, we're going door knocking. She goes, oh, I don't want to do this. So she wrote a LinkedIn article that said, he just made me do it. We had a great day. We actually got invited in by a little old lady, made us tea and some, put out some little snacks for us. And she goes, is it always like this? I says, no, but it's a good day. 2 weeks later, I says, we're going again. She writes her follow-up letter. He just made me do it again. So that resonates with me. Door knocking is so important because you get to be right in front of the person. And I think that's wonderful that you
just reminded me, one time I actually got a lead from that. It happened to be someone I already know, one of my neighbors, but it never happened before. I mean, this neighbor knew that I'm in real estate. I was door knocking for an open house for one of my neighbors. And I went to knock on his door. Actually, I think it was the first house first house I knocked on. And like I said, I already knew him. I met the wife, I think, from afar before. And I'm saying, oh, like the neighbor's house is being sold. If you want to just come by and check it out.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the wife comes running up. Actually, can you help me with finding my parents a home in this community because I want to be close to them?
I got one for
So
you.
they never came to the open house, but that... So it's also about being top in mind, especially when I do it in my community. So
yeah, that's so important. Now, when you think about one of the people I think that really impacted me and millions of people is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality. Yep. We still talk about his ferocious way of training, of educating, of nourishing and feeding his mind every day. There was nobody that could outwork him. Nobody. Up at 4 every single morning. I used to see him at the gym off of MacArthur and Main Street, right at the top. Equinox.
Awesome.
Equinox.
Wow.
He'd go up there and he'd talk to people, but he'd do his thing. And then he would jump in his car at the time and head up to Staples and practice up there. Shot after shot after shot before his team would come. And I thought about that. I says, well, what am I doing with my day? How am I, what excuse do I have not to be a hard worker, to outwork my fellow lenders? They're good people, but I tell you what, no one's going to outwork me. And I applied that, and it actually works. That mentality,
consistency, never giving up.
Yeah, over and over and over, just doing the same thing, shooting that ball, mentoring people, giving back to your fellow realtors and loan officers. How about when it comes to answering your phone? That is one of the things when I ask somebody, what sets you apart as a champion in your field? How important do you feel responsiveness and answering your phone is to our field?
I don't understand why some agents don't. Most agents don't. I don't. If I don't ever answer the phone, I'm going to text. If I can't talk in that moment, I will at least text back. Let's talk in 5 minutes. Let's talk in an hour. At least I'm responding.
Yeah. Say something.
Say exactly.
Right? I did a little podcast, or a reel, I should say. It was entitled, Just Say Something, right? And I was just walking down the road. I was heading to an appointment, and I've been trying to get a hold of this guy for 2 days. And I called him, no response. I texted him. I see it says read. I saw he read it. I went on social, tried to reach him there. Email, nothing. 2 days. And I'm thinking, I don't get it. And then all of a sudden he calls me back and says, oh, sorry, John, I've been super busy. I says, that doesn't resonate with me. I don't understand that mentality. We're glued to our phones in this profession that we're in. Mm-hmm. What if I refer you a client? What confidence do I have that you're going to respond to them when they call?
I've been on the other side of that spectrum before I became a real estate agent. I've been on the other side. And I've had to, whether it was for a purchase or rental. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I'm chasing. I'm making more of the effort. So
there's something wrong with that picture.
That's fine. I'm going to be the one to answer the phone, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Let them all do that. But no, I don't understand it, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's just not a good look for agents, for loan officers in our profession. We have to be responsive. So shifting just a little bit, when you're not doing real estate and all those good things, and your hubby's not doing commercial stuff, I hear you have a little side hustle that you do. Can you talk to us about it?
Yeah, so I'm part of the Screen Actors Guild. I have been a union member for 25 years. So I started doing extra work back in the end of 1999.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually kind of following someone else doing it, and I only did a few weeks worth, and I really wasn't into it because when you're not in the union, you don't get paid very well. But I got lucky. The night that I gave up, I got a call to be featured in something, and the rest is history. So I joined the union. The insurance was amazing at that time. But yeah, I don't spend too much of my time doing that work. I usually accept when it's a commercial because it's more fruitful for your time. It's fun. It's really fun. I've learned a lot from it, but it's my side hustle.
That sounds fun. Well, you and I were talking earlier that one of my side hustles is I'm a professional beach volleyball referee. Mm-hmm. So I have the opportunity of being on all these beaches all around the country and some parts of the world too, officiating men's and women's beach volleyball at all levels, whether it's juniors, college, pro. And I was invited to just do a little cameo in this one little shot. And I think I was starstruck. I was watching all these stars go by that I knew when I was growing up. And I'm just like, wow, where am I? You know?
Were they athletes, like famous athletes?
Well, few of them were athletes, but I'm thinking like Kristen Bell from...
Wow.
And we were trying to think of the detective show that she came off of. I know I'll think of it later, but that was the episode that I was involved with because they had a beach scene there, and they had players on both sides, and they invited some of our pro beach athletes to come out, and then they needed a referee. At the last minute, the director says, "This would be more real if we had a whistle in here and if we had a real referee."
Oh, I think she was on that show with Mariska Hargitay.
What was that? Yes.
They actually played a clip of that on yesterday's Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. Because so many people have had like some kind of part on that.
It was just the time of my life, a lot of fun.
Law and Order.
Was it Law and Order? I don't know.
Okay, let's cut that out in case I'm wrong.
That's homework. I'll have to. I need to do better if I'm gonna bring that kind of stuff up. So that's your side passion, your side hustle. We all have it. It gives us a little bit of a break. But you know what I find too, Rosalyn, is that I never stop networking. It doesn't matter where I'm at or what I'm doing. Do you find that?
You know what I feel like first of all, I try everything. I try the social media marketing. I try everything, mailers. But I feel that when I go to networking events, I get more leads from that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's just what works for me. I'm actually part of the Yelp Elite community. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Took a few tries for me to get in, but
it's not easy.
It's not easy. Yeah, they want to. You have to do a lot of reviews and pictures and all that. So I finally got in after 3 tries during COVID is when I got accepted. And they'll invite you to these events where it's closed down just for you. Yes. Sometimes you go to like a retail store and pick something up, but most of the time it's a restaurant. But when I go to these events and everyone else is an elite member just like me, they're more open. I take business cards with me. I don't do a spiel. I'm in real estate. This is what I do. I just give them my card. And every event that I've gone to since I've become a real estate agent, there has been at least one lead.
That's fantastic.
One girl was, I couldn't even remember where she came from. She said, "I met you from a Yelp Elite event." I was like, oh my God, this is a girl that I randomly met in the bathroom. We were just having a conversation about, how nice the bathroom is. And everyone was like filming content of the bathroom. And I don't know, we had some conversation from there. I gave her my card. Next thing you know, a few weeks later, she reached out. "Can you help me?"
Wow. That's amazing. That's why we never stop talking about what we do. We're always prepared for a conversation, to have business and personal conversations. That human interaction.
You know what it is? At the end of the
So
day,
good.
I feel that most people just like to choose you based off of your personality. If they feel comfortable with you,
Yes.
they trust you. My first lead, the first listing I had worked that way. So,
People do business with whom they like and trust.
yeah, because you're going to have a relationship. It's kind of like dating.
Yeah.
They want to feel comfortable with you
Yeah.
and they also want to know that they can, reach out to you, that they have that bond with you. So,
It's like those networking events are like speed dating for business. You know,
Yeah.
you're going around trying to resonate with the right person. And then you find that one or two or a few people that you're like, you know what, I could see doing business. And then there's some you're like, oh, no. I don't vibe with them, you know. But I
you know
respect
what?
that.
I feel like I've always been an introvert. And doing what I do, I feel like I just naturally feel like I should talk to people, even at supermarkets. Now I've changed.
Yeah.
But I'm not like going out there and thinking I need to talk to them because I want to get a lead. I
Right.
just will
It's
talk
just
to anybody. 'Cause
normal.
if they come back to me, if I don't have my business card, I wish I had my phone right next to me.
You have your
My
your
QR code is on
yeah.
my phone. So if I don't have my business
I
card,
can just scan that and go.
scan that. And another thing, the reason why I have options is I have encountered a lot of people that don't like the social media thing. They don't like to go on Facebook, LinkedIn, or any of that. So they don't like the QR code. They want a physical card. Or there's people that they don't want the physical card because they have so many and they're going to
Right.
toss it.
They're like,
So
I'm
always
gonna-
have that option.
Yeah, that's
And my
that's a
QR
good
code
idea.
actually pulls literally everything up. And they can save that to their contacts, all my social media profiles, which I'm on everything. And my email, my phone number, and all that. So I'm prepared.
So it sounds like you are doing everything that a good, solid, experienced realtor needs to be doing to stay successful today. You are covering social media, you're covering the doors, you're covering networking. Do you belong to any networking clubs, or not clubs, I guess we don't say clubs, associations? Like I'm part of the Chamber of Commerce for my local city. Do you do any type of involvement with those types of organizations, or is it mainly, as networking events come up and you're like, okay, I think this one might be a good choice? What have you
Well, I'm
found?
starting to get involved with my HOA,
Ooh,
community.
that's a good one.
But other than that, my Yelp Elite community, every time there's an event where they close the place down and it's literally a private event, I make sure I clear my
Don't miss
calendar
that one.
because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those ones have always turned out to be fruitful without me trying.
Yeah.
So I can't miss out on those.
I had a good friend, her name was Kelly, and she was a Yelp Elite. And I got invited to this seafood restaurant, all Yelp Eliters. I'm a guest. And here comes all the food. And I get ready to dive into my food, and I look around, nobody's eating. They're all taking pictures.
Yeah. Well, that's part
20
of it.
people. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. She goes, take a picture. I'm like, okay. But I mean, that's the whole point, right? To
Yeah.
take pictures, leave reviews, and things like that. Well, Roslyn, I have one more question for you. It's been great getting to know you better, to really see what helps you stand out amongst your realtors. And we're going to use this podcast to send you referrals as well, because when someone says to me, hey, John, I'm looking for an all-star realtor in Vegas or even here in California, I says, you know what? I got the person for you.
Well, thank you. That's
Rosalyn's
awesome.
amazing. In fact, check out this recent podcast of what makes her stand out as a champion. And then I send it to him. And then I connect you to, and it's game over. You take care of
Well, you
business.
connect me to them so I can prove to them why I can help them.
You will.
Although I appreciate referrals, I
Yeah.
always try to prove why I'm of service. So
Oh, that's fantastic. So, if I'm a realtor, let's say, and I've been in a long time, but I'm finding it to be more of a struggle these days to stay successful. Or let's say I'm a brand new realtor, just coming into the business, and I'm just trying to figure out, should I stay in this? The struggle's real. What advice what advice would you have for people to be successful today in real estate?
So it's not about always having a transaction. However, that's what you're supposed to be aiming at. Be consistent with learning. So always do open houses. Try to do open houses. Try to host other people's open houses, and just constantly do everything to, you know what it is? It's like exercising. You can't expect to, you work hard and you get that physique that you want, and then you can't just sit back and expect that muscle to stay there. You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Just keep that momentum, to keep that tone. Helps with your confidence as well. So
Yeah. What was it? I heard a nice comment the other day is that knowledge drives effort. Effort breeds confidence. Confidence leads to success.
that's a nice one. Yeah.
And don't ask me to ever repeat that because I'll mess it up again. But it really does show that we have to constantly nourish our minds and our hearts with information and learn from others as well. I love the fact that you keep mentioning open houses. So many realtors out there overlook that and say, it's a waste of my time. It's a lot of work. You're missing out. You're missing just so many good opportunities. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
And another thing is I've seen agents that get discouraged easily when something isn't working. You'll remember what I said earlier about adapting?
Yeah.
You have to constantly reinvent. I don't know if that would be the right word, but like, for example, I do mailers. If I don't get my QR code clicked on a few times, you know what? I'm not going to give up on that. Let that marinate. While it's still working, let's find another way to do it. And then that's, then move on to something else. It doesn't mean you should give up on the things that you've already started. Just find other ways. And just constantly find other ways to do that. Reinvent and adapt, and don't give up. Because then you'll find what really works for you.
That's excellent. Well, I tell you what, I'm sold. I'm sending all my people to you so that you can help them. Really appreciated having you with us today on the podcast. The mindset of a champion. What sets you apart? We know what sets you apart, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you.
In
Thanks
your
for
real estate
having me,
career.
and thanks for that.
Of course. Thank you.